Well, let's talk about the Pure program for people that may be watching. The Pure program is a real world applicable skills training for project managers. You complete the 60 hours of training. You get 60 PDUs if you are a PMI candidate or a PMI certified professional. And then you have to pass an exam, and then you're considered a pure PM. And one of the courses in the program is Russ's course, which you can probably tell deals with risk. So Russ, tell us a little bit about your course and how it's unique and how it relates to real world project management, real world risk management.
Yeah, so, well, the one I jump into, my kind of like my bread and butter of what I was really excited to kind of jump in with Pure was translating those military skills over into project management.
Okay, right.
Yeah, because, I go into really everything. My three core functions that I like: project management, risk management, leadership. And I really work through what the Marine Corps planning process is, which is a derivative of the joint planning process that kind of jumps through all the military services. And when you look through that, you can see, how we as project managers manage projects. It's extremely similar. And then our leadership traits, if you just take those, you just change a couple words in it, you have great leadership traits and principles for a project manager to take out there. And then same for risk management. The military has a risk management process, and we use a lot of the same terms when it comes to risk opportunities. We're building really qualitative risk analysis. I will say that. We talk about quantitative, but when you're in the middle of Afghanistan at a FOB, it's kind of hard to do quantitative. You're really just doing qualitative at that point.
Sure.
But a lot of our risk management is, I would be surprised if I can go back and find the people that wrote this doctrine if they didn't talk to some project managers in the meantime, because it is doing this research. It's been like, this is a lot more similar than I thought it would be.
Oh, very good. Very good. Well, what will people get out of your course that are PMs?
I think one thing they'll get out of it is just some of the nuances that the military puts into our planning process. Again, the leadership piece, something I think a lot of project managers need to take a little more time and study, because there's this inkling out there that leadership is natural, and it's not. Leadership is something you study and you grow just like anything else.
Right.
So that's what I really wanted to take away is you can learn from the military, but at the same time, the military can do project management. There's a thought process out there in the veteran community, everyone should get into project management, which I don't preach to military at all. But what I try to tell them is that in the military, we have natural skills that we learn over our careers that can put us in project management roles. The only thing is that I want people to know is you kind of got to work with them up front. It's one of those things. It's a little bit more upfront cost. You do a little bit more mentorship with that veteran, you're going to get a lot on the back end.
Sure.
Because they do have to go through that transitional period of this is not this is that. Because even when I was studying for the PMP, I remember even sitting for the exam, there was a lot of translating. I read a question, I'm like, okay. And I put it back in the military planning process, and I put it back in the and then I'm like, okay. And then like that, it's just, that's how my mind had to roll. Now it's a few years later, I've dropped a lot more of that military, but it's still there because it's the core. It's the core of where core of my career. And so I want people to take away that the military comes with a lot more than you probably realize, and what they probably realize up front.
Sure. Well, I think that's an important lesson for people who are not and that don't have a military background that they can get from your course is this is a mindset that follows a logic that's proven, years of proven experience, that you can take this and use in your environment, that it's applicable, that I can take this way, how to lead or how to think or to work with my team to plan, that you can apply it as a PM. Even if you don't have a military background, you can learn from that. And I think that's one of the goals we have in everyone's course, is we have all these different backgrounds that people bring into the training, that I can take these nuggets and fast forward my career a bit by learning from, what worked for you, what that worked in my environment, how do I leverage that and work for me. So I think that's one of the really cool things that you have in your course, especially for folks that don't come from a military environment.
Yeah.